Welcome Minneapolis High School fans to Galva, Kansas. We are here today for a regional playoff against Sacred Heart Knights on 910KINA.com Eagle Communications and live also on Channel 8 Audio. Mike Perry and Dale Leach here to bring you the game. The girls are about to get their game started here. The Lady Lions have had their infield warm-ups. The Knights are completing theirs.
Minneapolis with a 7-12 record this year. Done rather well, I think.
The Knights are 11-5. Actually, they say we're 8-12. How about that?
Well, I thought it should be 8. I thought I saw 7 somewhere, but maybe I'm
wrong. You're right. 7-12. We got a bye. That counts as a win. We got a bye in the first round. Both the Knights and the Lions got a bye in the first round because there's not enough teams to fill out an 8-team bracket. We just watched Brookville El-Saline beat Lincoln by a score of 14-13 and 7 as El-Saline was threatening all the way down to the end. Couldn't quite get the last runs in.
Yeah, Lincoln won that.
Lady Lions and the Knights hooked up earlier in the year. 2 wins, I think, for the Knights in that contest.
We played very respectable, I thought. And hope we play that way here today and make this a tough match for Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart, the higher seed.
And apparently I have a tape in that. That's the Knights. The Lions are in their 4th season here of play. The Knights, I'm not sure how many seasons, but I think they're no strangers to postseason play and getting to state, from what I understand.
Introducing Minneapolis lineup: Jessica Smith, left field; Kylie Gregg, third; Emily Fleming hits in the third hole. She's behind the plate as Allie Steinbrock will hit cleanup and play shortstop. Holly Gerke bats 5th and plays first base. Parker Ross 6th, and Abby Ross, Addison Ross, excuse me, 7th. Amber Buckles bats 8, and Megan Hikas will bat 9th. Kendall will not bat, but she will start pitching here today. Sacred Heart will be the home team. Abby Whitman, who we didn't see the first time around, has a rocket for an arm there at shortstop. She'll bat 2nd. Creighton will bat 3rd. And the Semino girls are on this team. I can't tell them apart. Taylor will play center, and Newton will be the first baseman. And they do look alike. Taylor and Abby Semino. Pitcher for the Knights will be Katie Ziegler, and she comes to the plate pretty quick. Donmeyer hitting ninth. Jim Whitman and David Hayden are our coaches. And we're ready to play ball.
The Lions, I believe, are looking for their first postseason win in their history tonight, where the Knights are not unfamiliar with playing in state.
Perennial trips to the state and have won the state.
And they have several players that have been there, done that, so they want to go again, I'm sure. So this will be a game where the Lady Lions are going to have to lay it all on the line if they want to move on.
Sacred Heart, the home team, will take the field first, and Minneapolis will bat. To start this contest, leading off for Minneapolis will be usually Kylie Gregg, but it looks like it might be Jessica Smith here tonight.
Mike and I are very impressed with the facilities here. I had never been off the road to come into Galva before. It's a nice community, and up in the north end of the town.
Yeah, the
really
north half of this
it.
town is well
A
developed.
lot of new housing, and the ball diamonds here are just par excellence.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better facility, all the concrete.
And I see a few oil wells dotting the area, so I assume that's how they're paying for it. All this concrete and everything else.
I'm sure it helps. Taxes on those things, ka-chink, ka-chink, ka-chink.
Who knows, they might be city-owned wells too, you know.
They could be. Lance Vernon, the head coach here at Minneapolis, and has been the head coach here since day one, I believe.
Yes. Well, and the assistant coach, I think, has been with him all the way, hasn't she? Heather O'Neill. I might be wrong there, but.
Well, if Lady Lions get something going here early and get a run or two on the board, it'll be a good deal.
It would be very encouraging, would it not?
Yeah, doesn't matter where we go, Dale. There will be a pipe right in the middle of our.
No, yeah. There's this is the. Some of you might be looking, couldn't you pick a better spot than where you are? But believe me, we've looked.
Actually, we were down the first base line in the aluminum bleachers down there, but as we set up and looked, there's a pipe even worse than what we're looking at right here. So you couldn't see home plate, you couldn't see first base. Other than that, it wasn't too bad of a shot. Little breezy, wind out of the south, about 80 degrees.
Gorgeous day for softball. Could be way too cold or way too hot, and it's neither.
I know the scorekeeper real well, and I don't think she'll let me buy her off, but.
Mrs. Evan Stout.
Mrs. Evan Stout, who I'm sure will be showing up shortly just to, you know, we could be clear down at the table, Dale, like.
Well, I thought about that, but the camera would look real good. The focus would just be horrible through the fence.
Guy's losing his papers. Nice dive save. Here we go. Jessica Smith leading off for Minneapolis. Ziegler, first pitch outside, ball one. We're underway here. Regional contest in Galva, Kansas. Strike gets grounded right back to the pitcher, and Jess is thrown out on a hustle. Bang, bang play at first base. It's Greg, the hitter for Minneapolis. Ziegler winds and dines. Ground ball to short. Semino. Excuse me, Whitman. I better get that squared away right now. Abby Whitman at short, and Abby Semino in left field.
Emily Fleming up the bat.
Fleming, the 3-hitter for Minneapolis. Hit one out of the park last time we were out at Wilson.
Outside corner, 2 of them.
Has the capabilities of the long ball. There's 2 strikes to count here as she's behind as Ziegler throws one way outside, ball 1.
Yeah, that one's right down the pike.
Called out on the strike by Ziegler, and Minneapolis goes down 1-2-3. And after the top of the first here, Minneapolis will take the field. Sacred Heart will come to bat, bottom first. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
The State Bank of Delphus and the Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis are locally owned community banks which offers traditional accounts such as checking, savings, certificates of deposit, IRAs, loans, and online banking. But most important, they're committed to making your banking experience as easy and as personal as possible. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
D&M Body Shop can repair any make or model of vehicle and make it look like new. They transform that ugly, messed up vehicle to its like-new condition. You'll be saying, wow, what a job. D&M Body Shop, Minneapolis, the very best.
Bennett Autoplex supports the Minneapolis Lions. At Bennett Autoplex, you'll find a small-town family atmosphere with great prices on new and used cars. New vehicles including Chevrolet, Pontiacs, GMC, Buicks, and Jeep. Serving the customer since 1957. Bennett Autoplex, Minneapolis, Salina.
And we do wish to thank our sponsors who have been with us all year, supporting these broadcasts.
Yeah, without them, we
Football, volleyball, basketball, wrestling.
We wouldn't be able to do it.
Baseball, softball. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you do, be sure and give them some support and thank them.
Well, they have called for the ball, and Blue is ready for Sacred Heart to come to bat. Throw down to second. Chelsea Ellis leads off for Sacred Heart. First pitch is a little bit high. Ball 1. As Dale mentioned, Sacred Heart perennial trips to the state in girls softball. Minneapolis like to break that string a little bit here today as second round, I guess, of the regional here at Canton Galva. Just barely foul. She's out in front of that one, and the count would be 2 balls and 1 strike. As they get it back into the infield. Gerke at first, Addison Roth at second, Steinbrock at short, and Gregg at third. Fleming is the catcher. And that's a foul tip. Evens the count at 2-2 as Kendall gets one across. Chelsea just couldn't quite handle. It's 2-2. Kendall Perry is the pitcher. Parker Roth in center. Jessica Smith in left.
Tip. Foul tip.
Foul tip. They could not hold it. It's she's still alive. 2-2 is the count. Jessica Smith in left, Parker Ross center, and Megan Heikes in right. There's a single to left off the glove of Smith. She gets it back in to hold Ellis to a single. Now Abby Whitman, the hitter. She has got a rocket for an arm at shortstop.
The last of the Whitmans. Unless there's another one I don't know of.
I think she's the end of them. A little bit outside. Nobody out. They have a runner on first. Throw to second. They got her.
All right.
She's out on a nice throw by Fleming.
Great throw.
And the tag by Steinbrock was up on the shoulder, catches Ellis sliding into the bag and went away. Nobody on as Whitman took that for a call strike. It's a hard enough slide. It pulled the bag out of the little hole, and they're going to dig some dirt out of it. One down here in the first, Sacred Heart hitting.
Maintenance. They got problems.
Need a spoon to dig a little dirt out of the tubing, or the
We'll take a pause for the
base
cause.
will not go down.
We'll be back.
Minneapolis.
Your Minneapolis hometown hardware is always there when you need an appliance, paint, tools. Well, truthfully, the list just goes on and on and on. So the next time you need something, almost anything, go to Hometown Hardware, Minneapolis. They've probably got it.
At Robertson Monuments, they believe that community is everything. Minneapolis is a great town to live in, and Robertson Monument is happy to be a part of the community. Robertson Monument, a Minneapolis Lions sports booster. Try to make as many games as you can.
Well, they really beat that second base up out there, Mike.
Well, they just cannot get enough dirt out of the peg. Now they do. It's set down really well that time and should be ready to go. Still in the first inning here. Minneapolis has one out against Sacred Heart here, hitting in the bottom of the first, Abby Whitman, the hitter for Sacred Heart. Ellis thrown out at second on a nice throw by our catcher, Emily Fleming. There's a strike call on the outside corner. And Kendall ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Sacred Heart's number 2 hitter, Abby Whitman.
Inside and high.
2-2. High, ball 3. Whitman has ran the count full here. There's a liner right up the middle. Whitman with a single to center.
Right over Perry's head. Too high for her to jump and get it, though, I think.
Well, I'm just grateful it didn't hit her.
Yeah.
Now straight.
Whitman holds at first.
Number three-hitter here for Sacred Heart. Usually a consistently powerful hitter. And Whitman takes third on the overthrow to second as the throw was offline. It was there in time. Greg had to go down the third baseline a little bit and get that throw. Now straight with 2 strikes down the count as Kendall's got ahead of this hitter. It'd be nice to get a strikeout here. A little high. Ball 1. Ball 2. A little high and outside. Sacred Heart hitter was taking there for sure. Straight. Caitlin, a senior. Just a little bit inside. Now the count's full.
Got her looking.
And he has called that high strike and was consistent there with that one. And we have 2 away. Taylor Semino, the hitter, steps in. Whitman at third. We'd kind of like to leave her there. 2 out. Gregg.
Oop, a little high. Run scores.
With a errant throw to first as Gerke could not pull that one in. And the run scores. Semino will be on first. 2 away. One run scores there as Sacred Heart is ahead 1-0. Nice pitch here by Perry, right at the knees, across for strike 1. Newton, the first baseman, there is the hitter for Sacred Heart. Pretty good basketball player, as I remember. Strike 2. Just on the inside corner, and Kendall is ahead of the count for this hitter also, 2-0. It's kind of nice being ahead.
Yes.
There's a line drive to Addison Roth, and there's the third out of the inning. 1 run scored by Sacred Heart on the line drive by Newton. And we'll be back with Minneapolis hitting in the top of the second here in just a minute.
If you're searching for the right insurance to fit your needs, look no further. American Family Insurance has been providing security and peace of mind for more than 80 years because they want to protect what matters most. Call Scott Osherman in Minneapolis, your American Family Insurance agent.
Minneapolis is a dynamic and growing community. The Minneapolis Chamber of Commerce support of the Minneapolis High School Lions sports programming is just a small part of what they do. Be a chamber member. Come for a visit and stay for a lifetime.
It's fast, it's furious, and it's fun. It's Minneapolis Raceway. Minneapolis Raceway has brought you exciting races to central Kansas and will continue this tradition. This fast track will give you and your family some of the most exciting races ever seen. Go Lions!
I'm ready for some of this warm weather to get out to the Minneapolis Raceway, Mike.
Yeah, I imagine when the sun goes down, it's just a little bit chilly out there.
That wind blowing especially. But I think it's supposed to cool down again this weekend from what I read. So.
Ziegler, the pitcher for Sacred Heart, and Steinbrock, the hitter for Minneapolis. She throws a little bit of a curveball, doesn't she?
Yep.
As it comes in there, she's a left-hander. Good velocity on her fastball.
Foul.
Grounded down the left and out of play. Steinbrock ahead of that pitch a little bit. And now Sacred Heart Up in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Outside, ball 1. Swung on and foul tipped.
Kind of had to dig that one out of the dirt to hit it.
Back to the screen, and Steinbrock didn't want to take a chance on that one and fouled it off. 1-2. A nice rip down the left field line. Foul. Alley out in front of that pitch. Ground ball through the hole.
In the gap.
Base hit. Minneapolis first base hit of the day. Ali Steinbrock with a shot between the second or the shortstop and the third baseman. Now Holly Gerke, the hitter. Usually a pretty good contact hitter. A little bit outside, ball 1.
Steinbrock holds it first.
1 ball, no strikes. That one's over. Strike 1. Holly Gerke, the hitter, had Allie Steinbrock on first. I got too many Abbeys going through my brain and keep wanting to call her Abby Steinbrock, but I know that's not right. Allie Steinbrock. Gerke, the hitter. Outside, ball 3. Gerke being a little selective here as run the count up to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Inside.
She thought that was a little bit, but it's a strike. Full count. That was low, ball 4, and she is awarded first base. Now Parker Roth with runners on first and second. Here in Minneapolis with a chance to get on the scoreboard. A little bit outside, and blue keeps motioning that it is just a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Parker Roth, the hitter, in the dirt as Allie Steinbrock bluffs a steal attempt down to third, and Gerke on first. Nobody out. There's a dribbler, and they get the force out at third. The lead runner is cut down as Steinbrock is out at third, Gerke at second, and Parker Roth is on at first after the fielder's choice.
1 down.
Now, Addison Roth. The second baseman. Way outside. Ball 1. Ziegler, the left-hander here for Sacred Heart. Pretty good pitcher. Swing and a miss. 1-1. There's, double play.
Play by the first baseman.
Nice play by the first baseman, you're right. Caught that line drive off the bat of Addison Roth and tags out the runner that was trying to get back to first, doubles her up for a double play, and that's the way we are done with 2. Complete innings here. Minneapolis trailing Sacred Heart 1-0. We'll be back.
C&R Plating would like to take this time to thank their many friends and customers for making their business what it is today. Kevin also wants to wish the Minneapolis Lions a great season. C&R Plating, happy to be a Minneapolis Lions backer.
There's nothing more important than our children. That's exactly why the Lion's Den was established in Minneapolis, so the kids could get together in a clean and healthy environment to have fun. It's a great place to party, the Lion's Den, downtown Minneapolis.
Eagle Communications, home of ECTV, high-speed internet, 910 KINA and 99 KG, a proud sponsor of tonight's hometown coverage.
Well, 1-0 after a full inning. We strand one, I guess. 2 out on the last play.
I guess it's just 1.5 innings done. I thought we were done with 2, but Sacred Heart will hit here in the bottom of the second.
You're right, 1.5 innings done, yeah.
Thanks for reminding me, Dale. Minneapolis in the outfield. And the hitter for Sacred Heart will be Marcotti. Drag. Good pitch by Kendall Perry. Another strike. Swing and a miss on an inside pitch, and Kendall has the hitter down. No balls and 2 strikes. That one sails outside, and it is a ball. 1-2. High. Ball 2. 2-2. Greg at third has been rock solid with the throws all year long. Gerke, I couldn't tell the pipe was in the way, whether she could reach it or not. Just a little bit inside. Full count now. High. Ball 4. Abby Semino will hit. Marcotti on first. Nobody out here. Ball 1. Ball 2. Kendall's on the verge of walking a couple hitters on here. We don't want that to happen. Make him a hitter here.
Foul.
Long one. But it's foul. Oh, it's fair. He called it fair.
1 run's going to score.
And we miss our cutoff. And triple by Semino. Ziegler will be up.
I thought the wind was going to carry that foul.
Yeah, I thought it was too, but it stayed fair. Runner at third, nobody out. Sacred Heart with 1 run across here in the second inning. Right in there, strike 1. Ziegler, the pitcher, is the hitter. Foul tip. Now down the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Minneapolis playing in at the corners. Center fielder Roth a little bit towards left. They're coming home with it.
Woo!
And Fleming blocked the plate. Did a wonderful job blocking the plate, and the throw from Steinbrock is in time. She put the tag on her, and she just did not get to the plate. And that's exactly what Blue is telling the coach from Sacred Heart, is wondering, and she just did not slide all the way into the plate. Fleming blocked the plate perfectly. Saves a run there.
Not too many girls are going to knock Emily out of the way.
No. A little bit inside. Ball one. Donmeyer, the hitter. Strike is the call. 1-1. One run across here for Sacred Heart. They have a 2-0 lead here in the second. Foul tip. She didn't want to swing, but did on a high fastball. One ball, two strikes. Here's the pitch. Dribbler out in front of the plate. Fleming has it. Throw to first.
Oh, hit the runner, I think.
And the throw back in as Hikus backs up the play.
So runners at the
in
corners
right field.
now. One out.
Now the leadoff hitter, Ellis. For Sacred Heart. Runners at first and third. Whitman, the on deck here. Lady Knights.
Shows bunt. Pulls back.
Stuck her arms out there to bunt, and one of her arms got hit by the pitch.
Bases loaded. One down. Whitman up the bat.
Whitman with a ringing single to center last time up. And that was called a little bit inside.
Right over for second base.
There's another one up the center. The base hit.
Scores a run. It's 3-0 now. Yep. Bottom of the second. Base is
One
loaded.
out. Base is still loaded. There's only one person that'd do that to me.
That pesky Evans style back there.
One out. Bases are loaded to Lady Knights. There's a ground ball to third. We get the force out at home. 2 away now.
Nice play by Greg to knock that down. That's player at home.
2 away now. That's called a ball. Taylor Semino, the hitter. That one's inside. Two balls, no strikes.
Oh,
just over the glove of Kendall Perry, and they're going to score 2 on that one. Whitman scores from second, and that's 2 runs across.
makes it 5-0. The Knights. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Over but low. There's a dinger in left field. It's going to drop for a hit. And the throw into home, and Sacred Heart moves up another bag on the throw.
6-0 now. 5 runs this inning for the Knights.
2 away. Minneapolis just cannot get that third out here.
And some well-placed hits
Well placed.
by the Knights into the gaps.
And the other Ellis girl, Sydney Ellis, is pinch hitting here. Kendall trying to get out of this inning with just a couple of runs scored here by Sacred Heart. Swing and a miss. It was high. Helped her out a little bit there. 1-1. Way outside. Ball 2. That's a strike. 2-2. Up the middle, Kendall just a little late with the glove. Here comes the throw, home, not in time.
2 more runs, 8-0.
Inside and low, ball 1. Abby Semino, the hitter. Foul tip off Fleming's shin guard. 1-1 the count. 2 away, runners on just first. Ellis, the pinch hitter. Swing and a miss.
Well, she chased that one.
Yep, that's fine. We hope she keeps doing that.
Yeah.
Minneapolis playing around to left a little bit. Just a little bit inside. 8-0 here, Sacred Heart with 6 or 7 runs in this inning. Foul tip. She swung at a couple of them high and inside. Maybe we can coax her into one more here, Dale.
Be good.
Full count now. There's the third out, and we'll be back with the I guess Sacred Heart will be hitting in the Minneapolis will be hitting in the top of the third. After a word from our sponsor.
After 2 innings, it's the Knights of Sacred Heart 8, Minneapolis 0.
Bennett Autoplex supports the Minneapolis Lions. At Bennett Autoplex, you'll find a small-town family atmosphere with great prices on new and used cars. New vehicles including Chevrolet, Pontiacs, GMC, Buicks, and Jeep. Serving the customers since 1957. Bennett Autoplex, Minneapolis, Salina.
Scott Studio at Minneapolis does all types of signs, from vehicle graphics, banners, racing, full-color decals, retail signs, and much more. If you need a sign, here's your sign. Scott Studio, where quality is promised and the price is always right.
D&M Body Shop can repair any make or model of vehicle and make it look like new. They transform that ugly, messed up vehicle to its like-new condition. You'll be saying, wow, what a job. D&M Body Shop, Minneapolis, the very best.
The State Bank of Delphus and the Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis are locally owned community banks which offers traditional accounts such as checking, savings, certificates of deposit, IRAs, loans, and online banking. But most important, they're committed to making your banking experience as easy and as personal as possible. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, the top of the third set to begin here. For the Lions, we have Amber Buckles at the bat, ball 1. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The Knights with a lot of offense there in the bottom of the second put the Lions down 8-0. Strike called on the curve. It's 1-2, the count. And she gets that one to Whitman at short. Throws her out at first. Out comes Hikus. At the bottom of the order here for the Lions. Hikus shows bunt. Ball 1. Inside, ball 2. And that was right down to Pike, swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Low. 1-3, the count. Delivery out. Ooh, caught the corner on the curve. 3-2 now, full count. And inside, Hikus takes a base. Smith up the bat. Lions need to get a lot of offense going here. Right across the plate. Little outside, 1-1. Swing and a miss, right across the plate again. And high and inside, 2-2. Right across the plate, strike three. Caught her looking. One down. Gregg up the bat. Shows bunt. Foul to the left side. Foul off to the right, back behind the fence. For Kylie. And swing and a miss, strike three, and Heike steals second. Nobody there to stop her. Oh, that was out number three. So that's why there's nobody to stop it. So after 2.5, it's Sacred Heart 8. The Knights, Minneapolis 0. Coming up the bottom of the third, the Knights at bat. We'll be back.
Your Minneapolis hometown hardware is always there when you need an appliance, paint, tools. Well, truthfully, the list just goes on and on and on. So the next time you need something, almost anything, go to Hometown Hardware, Minneapolis. They've probably got it.
At Robertson Monuments, they believe that community is everything. Minneapolis is a great town to live in, and Robertson Monument is happy to be a part of the community. Robertson Monument, a Minneapolis Lions sports booster. Try to make as many games as you can.
It's fast, it's furious, and it's fun. It's Minneapolis Raceway. Minneapolis Raceway has brought you exciting races to central Kansas and will continue this tradition. This fast track will give you and your family some of the most exciting races ever seen. Go Lions!
C&R Plating would like to take this time to thank their many friends and customers for making their business what it is today. Kevin also wants to wish the Minneapolis Lions a great season. C&R Plating, happy to be a Minneapolis Lions backer.
Since 1887, the Bennington State Bank has been your trusted hometown bank. For over 100 years, they've been interested in helping people achieve their financial goals. Let them help you. The Bennington State Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, Sacred Heart up to bat here. Katie Ziegler, pitcher, foul off to the right. So 1-0 the count. Fouls left, back behind the fence. 0-2 the count.
Sorry, Dale, I had to
It's all right.
go. Comes an Ev floated over.
We
from
won't dock your salary
back.
too much there.
Down the count, and there's a ground ball through the hole for a base hit for Ziegler.
They find the gaps.
They hit him through there. Donmeyer, the hitter. Runner on first base, nobody out here. Sacred Heart leading 8-0. High, ball one. Over but high. Swing and a miss on a nice pitch by Kendall on the inside corner, low, right at the knees. Donmeyer could not catch up to that one. Ball two, high. Well, it's a beautiful day here. As Dale mentioned, the facility is just perfect. Pop back, and Fleming
Couldn't quite nab it.
It's close to the overhang of the fence. And
I thought it was going out.
I thought it was going to hit the pipe, actually, and I think she did too. And it did come down. She got a glove on it. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count. Count is full. Kendall with the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. There's their first out of the inning on a strikeout. Chelsea Ellis, the hitter. With a runner on first, Fleming has already gunned down one attempted steal at second. Swing and a miss. Ellis with a good cut, but misses. Foul back and out of play.
Almost a nice catch by a
Started to make a catch and then
fan.
oh, Mrs. Stout gets one over the backstop. As Blue is looking for a couple more balls. Now, down in the count, 0-2. Kendall not going to give her anything too good to hit. Doesn't. Rolls one in there. Ball 1. Tries to keep it low. One ball, 2 strikes. The count. Over but high. 2-2. Sacred Heart with a runner on first. One out here in the bottom of the third.
Inside, ball 3.
Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ellis, the hitter for Sacred Heart. And it would be nice to get a strikeout right here. There's a fly to left field. It's caught by Parker Roth. And she gets the ball back to the infield real quick. There's 2 away.
I like those a lot better than those shots in the gap.
Yep. Abby Whitman, the hitter for Sacred Heart. 2 away, runner on first. Ground ball through the left side, and there's a 3-hit day so far for Whitman. As she's able to place that ball where she wants to. That one hit through the gap between third and short for her third single of the afternoon.
2 down. Runners at first and second.
There's a fly to left field. Smith is there.
And snags it.
Snow cones it, but it's an out. On a nice snag by Jessica Smith.
No runs by the Knights in that inning after that disastrous second inning.
8-0 Sacred Heart, with Minneapolis coming to hit here in the top of the 4th, I believe. And we'll be back after these messages from our sponsor.
City Pharmacy has brought you quality professional pharmaceuticals since 1963. Joe and Amber Wool will help you with your medications, durable medical equipment, cosmetics, gifts, and greeting cards. Your hometown pharmacy, City Pharmacy, downtown Minneapolis.
The Hairstylum, the newest and most modern hair salon in Minneapolis, will style your hair to give you the look that you've always dreamed of. Or you might just want a haircut. The Hairstylum will do that too. Lynn and Brandon welcome new customers. Call 392-4555.
If you're searching for the right insurance to fit your needs, look no further. American Family Insurance has been providing security and peace of mind for more than 80 years because they want to protect what matters most. Call Scott Osherman in Minneapolis, your American Family Insurance agent.
Minneapolis is a dynamic and growing community. The Minneapolis Chamber of Commerce support of the Minneapolis High School Lions sports programming is just a small part of what they do. Be a chamber member. Come for a visit and stay for a lifetime.
The Minneapolis Junior Senior High School Lion backers are proud to continue their long-term support of the broadcast of these Lion games. Join us as we support student activities and the teachers of Minneapolis Junior and Senior.
Here we go, Minneapolis getting ready to hit here. We've got a special guest for us, Evan Stout from McPherson. Calls a lot of stuff for McPherson High over there. Evan came over. I noticed the scorekeeper was your lovely wife, so she gave you a jingle. Glad you came over.
Thanks. This is her first year back at Canton Galva after being away for about 17 years.
Taught over at Mac in the English department there, as Kristen had the pleasure of working with that group for 1 year before she moved on. So Minneapolis with a nice hit there, as Fleming with a single between third and short. And we've got a base runner, Evan.
See if we can move her on down to second, put somebody in the scoring position.
Allie Steinbrock, the hitter for Minneapolis. Steinbrocks, you know, Evan, are not related. They might turn two. No. Nice stop by Whitman at short, and the toss to second forces Fleming one away.
Well, that was a good hustle by Steinbrock getting down to first base to eliminate that double play.
You know, as hard as that ball was hit, I thought they might have a chance to turn a double play. Steinbrock just a little bit too far off the bag, decides to go back. Sacred Heart wings it to second. I think they would have had her.
I think they had her out in the wide open. They could have pickled her.
Well, Evan, what's going on in Mac? Anything neat? Got some...
No, softball's not the game of the day there. Of course, basketball is, and it wasn't the game this year. We didn't have a team make it state for the first time in 21 years.
That's something.
So it's kind of slow. We got a pretty decent baseball team that's playing about 500. But
kind of like the Royals, up and down.
Kind of like the Royals, and thank goodness they won a game, what, last night or night before last?
Yeah, they came back and won that one last night.
But they've been doing very well up to this date.
Gerke with a good eye there, draws the walk. Now Parker Roth for Minneapolis. Steinbrock at second, one away. Minneapolis with a good chance here for get a couple runs.
Parker Roth played a nice outfield out there half an inning ago when that long fly went out there, and I'm sure this wind plays havoc with it. She made a nice catch out.
Now, I've never been north of Main Street down there in Galva. This is a pretty nice facility over here.
It is a nice complex. It's a memorial from the folks at Home Telephone Company, and they have a new name for it now. But they started up their own telephone company years ago, and it just went like wildfire. And now they've got new housing development out here. And
that's the first thing Dale and I noticed when we drove up, all the concrete, and both diamonds are just perfect.
Yeah, they take very good care of the park, and I'm sure it's a high maintenance thing, but been a lot of games played on here during this rainy season.
2 outs here. Addison Roth, the hitter for Minneapolis. Steinbrock at third. Inside. Ball one. Or excuse me. Ball two. 2 balls, no strikes on Addison Roth.
What kind of record does Sacred Heart carry in with them today?
since you have your glasses on and
10
I
and
don't.
5. Here, I can hold it far enough away if you can, you can see it. 10 wins, 5 losses. So that, and Minneapolis has 8 wins,
Yeah,
12 losses.
8
so
12.
they're not a bad matchup.
A nice rip there by Roth. It's fouled out and out of play. Runs the count full.
Have you had graduation at Minneapolis yet?
We had graduation Sunday.
Did they? We had the same with Canton Galva.
Addison taking there, and it's a strike, and she's called out and rung up as Minneapolis does not get any runs across, and Sacred Heart coming to hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Minneapolis trailing 8-0. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
Your high school. Go Lions. We're with you all the way.
Trust is a word that is very important in this day and age, especially when it comes to insurance.
Listen to the ads.
Since 1982, you've trusted the Davidson Agency in Delphus and Minneapolis to give you the best home, auto, farm, crop, life, and health insurance. Call Lyle Davidson at the Davidson Agency, your trusted choice.
There's nothing more important than our children. That's exactly why the Lion's Den was established in Minneapolis, so the kids could get together in a clean and healthy environment to have fun. It's a great place to party. The Lion's Den, downtown Minneapolis.
Eagle Communications, home of ECTV, high-speed internet, 910 KINA and 99 KG, a proud sponsor of tonight's hometown coverage.
Here we go, Sacred Heart back.
Foul ball hit down the third baseline.
I think we're ready to go. I need to turn it back up. These two. Ah! Sacred Heart hitting here, Minneapolis trailing. There's a high pitch by Perry. That's Semino, the hitter, I believe.
Taylor Semino. That's kind of a football name, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That one goes off the ankle of Jessica Smith. They're going to try for 2, and the overthrow is collected by Gerke at first, as Taylor Semino hits a single to left.
Jessica comes up limping.
That's a stinger.
Looks like she's got a bum out there. Just don't rub it.
Goodness. Good pitch here by Kendall as Newton steps in for Sacred Heart. Nobody out here. 1 strike the count. Runner on second. Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. You say this facility was donated as a memorial, or?
Yes, it was, and the streets around it here are named after the kids and the family.
Well, there's a slug bunt there. It's collected by Fleming. The throw to first is off the mid of Addison Roth, and she's safe now with runners on first and third. Nobody out. And the official scorekeeper is giving her an error. She had her out before she dropped it. Yeah, that's a good call.
Had possession of the ball 1 second after the tag, and I believe that's the count they looked for.
I think when they ended up in a heap, the ball came out. She's out.
So is that a ground rule? If she gets grounded, play stops?
Ground rule single.
Ground rule out.
Ground rule out. That's a good call. She had her tagged, and then when they went down the heap, the ball came out. A run has scored, though, and now Sacred Heart leading 9-0 as Ellis steps in, the younger Ellis. Ground ball to first, and Gerke has that for the second out of the inning. Minneapolis playing pretty good defense here as they run down the girl in between first and second for the first out. And the bases are clear.
Gerke's put on the sunglasses. The sun bears down awful hard on you about this time of day.
Greg with a nice snag at third. Does have a pretty decent arm. I think good enough to throw out about anybody from that depth, which was a lot more accurate than my old rag arm.
That's why you played second base.
A swing and a miss, and Kendall's got her down the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Abby Semino, the hitter, will shorten up her stroke here a little bit. Pops one over to Gerke. Has a glove on it, but cannot hold it.
Kendall threw that high dark one in there at her, and she had to reach up to get it, but she fouled it off.
I think she could strike her out. She will go after the high and tight stuff. 2 strikes the count. Here's the pitch. And the Sacred Heart third base coach cannot make a play on it. 9-0 Sacred Heart here in the bottom of the 4th. He didn't want anything to do with that either. I saw a guy catch one in his cap the other day in the Royals game on TV. Had to do the replay to make sure he snagged it with his cap.
There you go.
There's a nice play by Allie Steinbrock on the low liner. And it's 3 away as Minneapolis gets ready to hit here in the top of the 5th. And we'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Amber Buckle steps in for Minneapolis here, hitting in the top of the 5th. Over but low, ball 1. Beautiful day here. The wind's blowing it a little bit, but not too bad. We've seen it where it blow dust across the one at Minneapolis. They put some new red dirt on the infields at Minneapolis on the L.T. Hickson
Memorial Field.
And now someone else is taking it over, which I'm glad.
Well, takes quite a bit to maintain, keep it upright,
Yeah.
and get it so it'll drain, and you can play on it an hour after an inch of rain.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Buckle stepping away from the plate there a little bit when she swings. Ziegler kind of held on to that a little bit too long, and it sails outside for ball 3. Full count now. Amber Buckles gets the ground ball to second and up with it over to first for the out. Sacred Heart with the first out of the inning. Buckles grounds out to second. Now Megan Hikas steps in.
Well, along with the wind that you've had this year, has there been any chilly evenings?
Yeah.
This is probably the first time you've set up in the bleachers without a parka.
I've worn numerous coats and blankets, as a matter of fact.
And that's not at different times, that's all at the same time.
All in one bundle.
Yeah.
Dale films the raceway, Minneapolis Raceway out there, and of course he's on top of the grandstands there and pretty far up in the air, and he didn't have quite enough clothes this last Saturday.
I understand Hardesty's been doing quite well at the races.
He has. I think he's had a couple of winning Saturday nights so far. Whoa.
Watch out, mascot.
Hung on to that one a little bit too long, over the top of the head of Hikas. Now the count is full. Megan walked last time up, now with a chance to make it 2 in a row. Looks at that one. Call third strike, and there's 2 away.
I work my #1 job at a retirement center in McPherson, doing maintenance, and today we celebrated Seniors Day. Not seniors in high school, but senior citizens.
Wow, there's a nice hit by Smith. About took the head of Ziegler off with that one. Nice ringing single to center by Jessica Smith. Now Gregg steps in.
We brought in pizza for lunch. They love the pizza, so it's either that or Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we brought in pizza, and we had a entertainment, and I'll say her last name that I knew it, Alice Clark.
Oh yeah, she can sing.
She came in and played and entertained and sang, and so I introduced myself, and she was talking about one area up north of town that has a dance hall. And I said, would that be where Marvin Prohaska Band plays? She goes, you got to be from Minneapolis.
Yeah, been there and done that. Jessica's going to be in there safe and with a stolen base.
Thank goodness that's over. I don't know how anybody paid money to come see that.
You guys still selling records?
Still amazes me.
Oh, they loved you.
I
loved y'all.
Yeah. Well, we were the only show in town at the time, so.
The only show in town.
The theater was tore down, so there was nothing else to do. That or watch tumbleweeds across the interstate.
Called third strike as that one hit the outside corner. And that's the way the inning will end. Sacred Heart will come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's 9-0, so Minneapolis needs to play some tight defense here. We'll be back with a word from our sponsor. Sacred Heart getting ready to hit here. Bottom of the 5th, Minneapolis trailing by 9. So Sacred Heart we cannot allow Sacred Heart another run here. Inside and low. Ball 1. Swing and a miss as Bonilla.
Jasmine.
How come you have so much?
How come my print's
your print's
bigger?
so much bigger than mine?
Because I'm holding it for I have longer arms.
Bonilla, the hitter for Sacred Heart. Now ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Kendall with the wind. Swing and a miss as Bonilla way out in front of that one. 2-2. So it's Seniors Day at the center, and everyone had a good time listening to Ellis Clark.
A good time was had by all.
Everyone got a little pizza gummed down, and
Yep, got her chewed up well, and we have about 50 women and about 5 men.
Really?
In our complex of 60 units.
Goodness.
And those gals, they run the roost. Tomorrow's bingo, so if you're bored up at Minneapolis, you can drive down and play bingo with the girls. I think that starts at 10 o'clock, but for goodness sake, don't win anything.
Oh,
they'll be on you.
I've never wanted anything in my life, so especially bingo.
Well, these girls will cheat if you come close to it, so.
Pop up off right in front of the Minneapolis dugout, and Fleming and Gerke could not get to it. Right in no man's land. 1-1. There's a ground ball to third right under the glove of Gregg and off the glove of the left fielder and the center fielder. And throw comes back into third as Gregg gets it back to the pitcher. One away here.
Nice hit by Donnemeyer out through various holes.
Minneapolis usually pretty good defensive team and has played fairly well here today. Sacred Heart just a little bit more power in the hitting category.
Well, Kendall Perry seems to be doing what she's asked of, get the ball across the plate, let them hit it and play the ball. Then every now and then a strike right past him.
Every now and then she'll snake one by him.
Yep. Low and inside, and she was looking for a high and outside.
1-1 the count. Kendall with the pitch. Just a little bit inside. 2-1.
Trying to keep Ellis on her toes there in the batter's box.
I was up at, Dale and I were up at Smoky Valley. We thought they'd rescheduled the track meet the other day and saw that Lynchburg's got their new field in.
Yeah, that looks great. They, this last year they put the new turf in, and of course every time they do that, they surround it with a new track. So it's a pretty good looking outfit up there. I think Salina South or Salina Central rents that for their track meets.
Right through the legs of the third baseman. Smith's there to collect it though in left field. So Sacred Heart just moves up one base on the stinger to left by Ellis. Now Abby Whitman, the hitter. 3 for 3 so far today. Be nice to get her out.
Nice to turn a double play here. And go sit down.
Yes.
Nice pitch. Snap back. Almost caught her sleeping.
Almost caught Kendall.
Yeah.
Fleming with a rocket, like it was kind of a fake throw. Maybe they're going to draw the runner off third a little bit.
Uh-oh.
There is a long
gone foul.
Foul, and the coach said let it go, because if she would have caught that, they could have tagged up and scored that
merry-go-round
elusive third run, or 10th run. Runners on first and third. One out. Minneapolis needs a strikeout here. It'd be nice to coax Whitman into one as she's down in the count. Pop up to third. Gregg is there. And Steinbrock almost takes her head off.
Just a little communications gap there.
Nice snag by Kylie Gregg, 2 away now.
Well, that's a lot better than watching the ball drop between them.
Yes, straight the hitter for Lady Knights, and the pitch. I guess that was a ball. Looked like it was letter I. A little bit inside.
Well,
so hit the left field and the ball back in, and that's the game. Minneapolis on the short end of a 10-0 game as Sacred Heart gets the victory here, as Minneapolis in 5 allows 10 runs in this 10-run rule, as Sacred Heart will win this game.
Disastrous second inning.
Second inning.
7 runs.
Yep, 7 runs did us in. We'll be back with a wrap up here in just a minute after a few words from our sponsor.
Remember, come for a visit and stay for a lifetime.
Well, welcome back here. The Lions get 10-run ruled in the bottom of the 5th. 10-0 the final score. Finished probably their best record in their 4-year existence, I'm going to guess. 8-13 overall. They
good season.
Keep getting better and better every year. Had some players getting through 4 years here. I guess Emily Fleming. Anybody else besides her has been all 4 years, you think?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Congratulations to Emily. She's been a stalwart on defense this year as on catcher and good hitting. And,
very good job catching, and hit one out of the park out there at Wilson the other night, which I was really impressed with. I thought that was a pretty cool deal to hit one over the fence.
We don't know how the boys are doing against Sylvan Grove at Wilson. If they win today, we will be back probably with a game midweek with them, but we don't know at this point. So, but again, we really appreciate the opportunity to bring you these games throughout the year, whether it be football, basketball, volleyball, and we're going to try to do.
Go ahead and say track.
We're going to try to do some track here this weekend. Get regional. We did do one track. Mike did one track. I shouldn't say we. Mike did one track meet earlier. And I'm going to try to catch regionals this Friday, and then we'll see what we can do for state after that, if possible. But since we have baseball and softball, they fall a lot of times on the same dates as track anymore, and you don't broadcast track over the radio. It just doesn't quite work out. So, but we appreciate y'all listening, and again, say thanks to our sponsors who have been with us throughout the year. And join us again in the 2010-11 season, which will be just coming up in a couple more months when I can start all over again.
Yes, it was a good season. Girls improved. You could see how they got better all season long, and played a little better defense as the year went along, and got them some victories as they went along, which really impressed.
So Dale Leach and
Mike Perry
going to sign off, and again, thank you for having us in your home as always, and we'll be back as soon as we can. Good afternoon.